สวัสดีครับต้อนรับเข้าสู่ห้องเรียนที่ใหญ่ที่สุดในโลกครับรายการนี้เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของโทรทัศน์ครูโดยสำนักงานคณะกรรมการการอุดมศึกษาครับวันนี้ยังคงอยู่กับผู้เชี่ยวชาญด้านการสอนวิทยาศาสตร์ทั้งสองท่านนะครับจากสาธิตจุฬาลงกรณ์มหาวิทยาลัยครับผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์สันติศรีประเสริฐและอาจารย์ชัยนรงค์แก้วสุขครับสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับอาจารย์สันติสอนมัธยมนะฮะอาจารย์ชัยนรงค์ประถมครับผมก็จะเป็นตอนต่อจากคราวที่แล้วครับที่พาเพื่อนครูไปดูการเตรียมตัวที่จะไปพิชิตขั้วโลกใต้หรือทวีปแอนตาร์กติกานะครับซึ่งก็ทรหดอดทนมากนี่ยังไม่ได้ไปนะครับมีไปเตรียมที่นอร์เวย์
ใช่ครับ
หาทุนกันอีกเราก็เรียนรู้อะไรเยอะแยะจากการเตรียมที่เขาจะไปวันนี้ครับเป็นตอนต่อแล้วก็จะได้เห็นว่าการไปถึงขั้วโลกใต้นั้นเป็นอย่างไรครับในคุณครูทั้ง4ท่านนะฮะในตอนที่ชื่อว่า Sub-Zero Teachers Surviving in Antarctica ไปชมกันครับ
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. Just stepping off the plane, see the mountains behind, and then just that way, just space. It's just absolutely amazing.
Amy Rogers is a secondary school biology teacher from Nuneaton.
Ice is freezing to them, look at it.
Their accommodation on the trip is far from luxurious.
And then double pole both of those.
Amy's tent partner is Ruth Hollinger.
We're going to use our map skills that we have been working on.
Ruth from Northern Ireland is a secondary geography teacher based in Sheffield.
9:20 on a Saturday evening. What would you normally be doing at 9:20 on a Saturday evening?
I wouldn't be shoveling snow.
2 hours after arriving, the tents are pitched, and the team are part of the community of Patriot Hills, where they will be staying for a week, acclimatizing and beginning their science projects. But the following day, and Antarctica seems a very different place.
We've clocked winds at about 75 kilometres an hour, so we're just really making everything bomb-proof, really.
With the bad weather now past and the team settled into their new home, it's time to venture out of the camp for the purposes of study.
I say it's a novel experience for me, being a non-skier, so really looking forward to it.
Ian Richardson is 50 and the oldest member of the team.
Ruth and Phil, what we're aiming for is that toe of that buttress of...
Looking after the 4 teachers throughout the expedition is Carolyn Bailey and her assistant Carl Alvey.
Rescheduled to the 22nd.
Meanwhile, back in Britain, expedition manager Steve Bull is monitoring the situation overall.
Because of the size of the expedition and what we want to achieve out of it, someone needs to be back here as like a point of contact. So if they've got a decision to make, they'll contact me over the sat phone. It's also there in terms of the emergency point of contact that we're here 24 hours a day, phone or if we're out and about mobile.
Ian and his fellow biology teacher Amy are looking for lichens as part of their science projects.
So they wouldn't be found on the windward side.
These are plant-like algae that grow on rocks. While Ian's project is concerned with the microscopic organisms that live within the lichens, Amy's project is looking for different varieties.
Because they're so tiny and because we're not very familiar with exactly what species we're going to find here, the problem we've got is identification. Different colours on the rocks, different minerals could be lichens. So we've collected a few samples that, because we've got a little bit of doubt, we're going to wait till we get back to camp and have a look at them. And I suspect over the next few weeks another problem is going to be just trying to get our eye in as to exactly what type of habitat you're likely to find them in.
And indeed throughout the first week, wherever they look in their travels around Patriot Hills, they become increasingly frustrated.
I mean, we got to practice with skis, pulling sledges, moving ourselves around safely, getting the camp up and down. But I started to have this horrible feeling that we weren't able to do any proper science that we'd gone out there to do. And I started to sort of twitch and think, am I going to spend the whole month just wandering from place to place, trying to find something?
Well, I suppose that's what this is all about. It's a big learning experience, and just learning to get our eye in and whereabouts to look.
Ian and Amy aren't the only ones to find their project a struggle in the first week. Ruth's personal project is the study of a particular type of hole.
I'm looking for a thing called cryconite holes, which is essentially where you get rock blown onto the surface of the glacier. Because it's dark, it causes the ice around it to melt much more quickly. And the argument is as more rock becomes exposed, then the ice, you get this sort of feedback loop where the ice melts much more quickly. The problem in Antarctica is that they're, at this time of the year, in November, they're completely frozen over. So from the surface it's quite difficult to tell whether it's just a big lump of rock or whether it's actually smaller fragments of rock, because I think the sort of smaller fragments of rock are of more interest to what I'm looking for.
The training expedition in Norway 2 months previously had given Ruth hope that her project would yield interesting results. But Antarctica shows signs of being less fruitful.
Those cryconite holes, what you're looking for are snow-free areas. Now, because there's been a snowfall and there hasn't been much wind, there's a light sort of skimmed snow on top, so it makes the holes much harder to see. And then also just because the holes are frozen, you've got to do a lot of digging to get at them rather than just to take the water out. So it's much harder to actually get the cryconite out of the holes.
You're going to GPS it as well?
Disappointed, she nevertheless records what she finds. The problems experienced by Ian, Amy and Ruth are having a bearing on the results of Phil's project.
Minus 12.4, 0.5 wind chill.
He is in Antarctica to study the relationship between weather and how people are feeling when considering such factors as diet and mental well-being. He gathers information from the others by way of a questionnaire they fill out daily.
It is a mood state questionnaire, and it goes through things like, did I enjoy today's meals? How depressed or happy am I? How lonely am I? How alert? How physically feeling 100%, etc. And then it tries to correlate all those facts and figures with what the temperature was today, what the wind chill was, how many hours sleep I've had, etc. And then we look for patterns.
As well as this psychological study, Phil is also studying the physiological effects of the cold on the human body.
Push on, a little bit more.
For this part of his project, the team underwent a rigorous physical examination at the University of Portsmouth 2 days before they left.
Keep driving, good.
The aim of the next couple of days is to find out what shape the team are in, and that could be in terms of fat, it could be in terms of fitness, in terms of their sensitivity to cold. And we're then going to repeat those tests when we come back and see how our bodies have changed.
There's 4 bars in there.
One thing that's affecting the team's physical well-being is the food. For ease of use, the bulk of it is freeze-dried.
We've just added water to the chicken korma and we've left it for 5 minutes, and this is the end result. So let's have a taste. Try not to spill it. Pretty good.
As well as a restricted diet, personal hygiene begins to suffer too.
So I got the tiniest amount of soap and just dabbed it on in the appropriate places, and it felt really good. And that was probably 3 days ago now. And could do with another one. I'm not taking my hat off because it's been 13 days since I've washed my hair, and it's not a pretty sight.
As well as a hot meal, the evenings provide a chance to communicate via the teachers' blogs using a satellite phone and laptop. Their diaries are a vital way to keep their students interested and up to date with the expedition.
It's just quite a nice relaxing thing to do in the evening, actually, just write down what we're doing, and hopefully some kids out there will be reading it as well. And we've had quite a lot of questions and feedback, so I think people are, enjoying reading what we're doing, and lots of supportive messages from people who just saying like, keep going. So yeah, it's good. It's going really well. It's nice to have that contact.
Now for breakfast and their drinks in the morning, takes them about an hour and a half.
Just as important as the blogs is continued involvement with schools by the expedition organisers.
That's ringing.
Hello?
Ruth!
Steve, hi there.
Hey, I've got a class full of...
And with the help of modern technology, bring the experience into the classroom.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Do you think that lots of people should go to Antarctica, or should it be left alone and kept as it is?
I think, it's a fantastic opportunity to come to Antarctica and see what it's like. Obviously, we've got to be really careful about any impact that we're having, so we're making sure that we're collecting all our litter. We're even collecting when we go to the toilet, we're collecting our poos, and we've got to bring that back. I think you might think that's a bit disgusting, but I think it was really reassuring to just hear different voices, and particularly, I suppose, to hear voices of young people and sort of students as well. I found that was sort of quite a big motivating factor, and it sort of lifted my spirits quite a lot. So I thought it was a really important part of the expedition.
The next stage of their expedition will take them to the Henderson Glacier, 40 miles from Patriot Hill's base camp, a region more suitable for their project, but well known for its treacherous weather. Even as they get ready to fly out, Amy's emotions run high.
Yeah, I'm getting quite worried about this now. It's been very nice here this last day, and it's been a nice bit of luxury, and just remembering again, it's going to be pretty hard, I think, over the next few weeks. Never mind. Not much I can do about that now.
And she's got good reason not to look forward to it.
They could be experiencing minus 30, minus 35, minus 40. There's no wildlife, there's no humans. They've been totally on their own for the best part of 3 weeks in the middle of nowhere.
At that stage, there was the excitement of going to somewhere that was just going to be the 4 of us plus the 2 expedition guides. So I suppose there was different and new challenges from that. So my sort of worries and concerns about the science were really masked by the excitement of flying over a fantastic landscape and something really sort of quite unique.
Probably the most amazing flight I've ever been on. I'm not too worried at this stage. Now seeing it, it's absolutely beautiful.
We're on our own with the mouthful of snow.
Due to its remoteness, the Henderson Glacier is largely unexplored. Hemmed in by mountains on either side, the team hope that their stay will prove worthwhile. But success comes sooner than they think.
Whilst we were just getting the mess tent ready, Carl and Carolyn went off just to look around the area, and they came back and they said that they'd found something on the rocks which they were pretty sure was lichens. So immediately we just got really excited and we went and had a look straight away. So within a couple of hours of being there, we'd found our first lichen.
It is one of the first ever collected at the Henderson Glacier. It's a beautiful red colour, and it's really exciting to find out what this one might be.
Success for Amy, but also for Ian in his hunt for tardigrades.
Generally, if you find lichens, then 50% of the time you'll find some tardigrades in there. The key thing was finding the lichens and finding the suitable environments. What was intriguing was the microclimatic conditions are very, very critical for whether they can survive in that environment.